You're listening to the Multiverse Fancast, proud member of the Misfit Faction Media Network.
All right then, on with the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Multiverse Fancast. If you guys are listening to us on the go, you can find us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, basically anywhere you guys listen to podcasts. You can also find more of our content on our website, themisfitfaction.com. There you find links to not only this show, but our other shows like MF Uncensored and Cinematic Adventures. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Paul. With me in the studio today is Ronnie. Ronnie, how are you?
I'm doing fantabulous. How are you?
Well, I don't know what fantabulous is, but please stop rubbing my leg as you say it.
It's all right, because now you're fantabulous, too.
Oh, man, it's transmitted that way. All right. So, yes, I am fantabulous as well. So, we wanted to do unfortunately, scheduling-wise, we had a very limited window. So, this is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode. So, we were wondering, we're racking our brains for... Why are you raising your hands?
Because I have some news.
Oh, you have news? What's your news?
Guardians trailer?
Yeah. You want to talk about it?
Do you?
Sure. Go ahead.
I didn't like Adam Warlock.
Why didn't you like Adam Warlock?
He looks really weird.
Why does he look really weird?
You don't think he looks weird?
I didn't really have a problem with him per se.
I don't know. It just... Something about him just threw me off.
I'm going to throw you off in a second.
He looks more like a robot to me.
Well, he looks like the gold people. Yeah. Aisha and all them, because they create him in this. So... He's been gold in the comics, I think.
Maybe I'm wrong. But doesn't he look like a human?
Sometimes.
Because like I say, he almost looked like a golden version of Nebula.
I can see that a little bit.
So that's why I'm kind of like, I don't know. Other than that, it looks pretty good.
Who do you think's gonna die?
Rocket's gonna die, and I feel like Mantis.
I can see that. Because of the Guardians, the only ones that have not died yet, but not including the Thanos snap, Nebula killed herself, or her younger self, or alternate version self. Gamora died, and now she's an alternate version. Drax didn't die yet, so he's on the chopping block, I think, too. Rocket hasn't died yet. Groot died, and now he's back as other Groot, and Peter Quill. So, there's a good chance. As long as it's not Cosmo the Space Dog. Take a bullet for that dog.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
But any other thoughts on it? Because, it did come out this week. I spaced on it because we talked about it on Cinematic Adventure. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, again, am I excited to see it? Yeah, I love the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, both of them. And the holiday special was really good. So there wasn't too much to it. I feel like they didn't really give anything away other than we see what Adam Warlock looks like. Yeah, but that's about it.
We do see the High Evolutionary, who is responsible for Rocket and his creation, and supposedly rumors of creating mutants in the MCU.
Yeah.
So we have that. So it looks like we have two different storylines, but it's hard to tell because this is a very fast, very clippy trailer.
Yeah.
I do like how we have the traditional Guardians uniforms now. Star-Lord wearing his old school type look, and the rest of the team wearing it too. Yeah. But even Sean said, he's like, we're watching the trailer, he goes, Drax looks a little chunky.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to body shame, we're just wondering, like, is Dave okay?
Yeah. I wonder, was there another role that he was gearing up for or something?
Maybe. Gears of War.
Yeah. You see what I did there?
Well, it's funny too because like his character always was shirtless. Now he's wearing a lot of clothing. He's got
like a vest in the holiday special. He had like a vest on or whatever.
So I don't know. Yeah. We just hope Drax is okay.
Yeah, that's all.
We also breaking today, an hour ago at time of recording, Blue Beetle has been announced that it's coming to theaters on August 18th, 2023.
Oh, yeah.
Blue Beetle was one of those DC movies that we were a little worried about.
Yeah.
It's starring Zolo, kid from Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
I don't want to try and mispronounce his name. But I was excited for it, and they started releasing... there was a lot of behind-the-scenes shots, and it looked good. And then the whole WB-DC merger stuff started happening, and we were like, oh, no.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen? And then James Gunn and Peter Safran take over, and we're like, oh, no, what's going to happen? And Black Adam's not doing as well as they hoped. Oh, no, what's going to happen? So it's not, they were afraid that this movie was going to get shelved like Batgirl, but I think originally it was supposed to come to HBO Max.
I mean, honestly, I completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
You know,
we haven't heard no teaser trailer, no nothing for it. Like, it almost disappeared.
We talked about it a couple months ago, I want to say. And since then, I haven't heard anything about it, so I completely forgot about Blue Beetle.
Wild, right?
Yeah.
But I think that was all the biggest, or that's the biggest
news. That's the big news. So. All right. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
That's right, pal. So we wanted to find a topic, and we were doing one of our other episodes, and it started making me think, because it was a very philosophical episode. Check that out, NF Uncensored. Shameless plug. But I wanted to think, why, like, because people always, I'm a huge superhero fan, obviously.
Yeah.
And people always ask, what kind of superpower would you want in real life, or how cool would it be, like, if Batman was real. I was like, and I always say the same thing. Superpowers would suck in real life.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. This was a topic I've wanted to do since we did The Boys.
Yeah.
And I think I even touched base on it a little bit here, or in that episode. So somebody go back and listen to it and let me know if I did. But it's something that I've always wondered about, because that's always the biggest question. Like, if you had superpowers, what would you want? Blah, blah, blah. And comic books portray the superhero world as something so glamorous. And then you have The Boys, which shows the business side of it, which is awesome to see. But the topic today is going to be superpowers in real life.
Yeah.
So let's start off very simply. Ronnie, if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Now thinking of, like in real life and implications and stuff like that, I think it would probably be super strength.
Okay, so already I'm going to challenge you.
Okay.
So you work out, right?
Yeah.
Occasionally. There was that one time. I work out. I know I have a certain level of strength. That's not bad. But I also know that if I were to punch a concrete wall, no matter how strong I am, there's a fair chance that I'm going to shatter my hands.
Yeah.
So the problem with superpowers is they have to be so over-encompassing. Like, I would love to be able to fly.
Yeah.
But I think the most realistic version of flying was in Chronicle, when they had to bundle up to do it, and they could only go so high.
Yeah.
Because they can't breathe, and their skin's not protected against high speeds and stuff like that. So it makes you want, like, superpowers have to have this over-encompassing protection of the user. So, like, for super strength, yes, I can maybe bend a bar.
Yeah.
But if I go to hit something, there's a fair chance I'm going to hurt myself.
Yeah. See, I was thinking maybe not necessarily to hit something, but like, oh, this car flipped over. Oh, let me flip it back over. Like to help people, not just to be like, look at me, I'm strong man.
But that's where I wanted to start, because like there is this glamorous idea of superpowers and just the world at large. And then you realize, well, if I have this power, what if I can't do, like, what if I try and do something that I can't? And, suddenly it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
But for me, I would love some sort of intelligence power, just something to like make me just so much smarter without, like, there was a show called No Ordinary Family. Do you remember this show?
Yes.
With Michael Chiklis.
Yeah.
And like it's a family of 4 and they all get superpowers, and like the kid who had like all these learning disabilities gets like super intelligence. Yeah. And I always found that fascinating, that sort of thing. But so let's say, starting off, superpowers in the world, something very simple, like the movie Unbreakable, right? Unbreakable, David Dunn, the main character, and this is also what kind of inspired this conversation in my head anyway. Ronnie had no clue what I was going to bring up. But David Dunn, his skin and his bones are just stronger than average. Yeah. So his skin can't get punctured, and like his bones are just dense, and that's why water's his weakness, because he sinks. Yeah. I think something along those lines, very simple, very grounded. Grounded superpowers, maybe not the worst thing, but look at, you hear stories all the time about people on PCP and like who are just menaces to society. So what do you think about just ground level, super basic, very simple, like I can just run really fast, not like super speed, but like Usain Bolt, like a little faster than him. What about something like that?
I think something like that, where it's like I can run fast, or even if it's just like heightened strength, not like super strength. I think stuff like that is good, because then there's the limitations, and it's nothing crazy out of the ordinary. Like a little bit faster than, the fastest man on earth, Usain Bolt. All right. There's always going to be somebody faster anyway, that comes on down the road. So I think like if I had like to ground like a superpower where I'm able to not have any like downfall from it, like with flying, right? Something like that, I would probably, you know what?
I don't know what. Tell me.
Teleportation.
Teleportation would be fun.
Right? Because, I mean, like, if you want to ground teleportation, you can only teleport
7 feet.
Yeah, you know, or like 50 miles, like not all the way across the world. Or
somewhere you have to know, or
somewhere you've been, or something.
Well, even like Nightcrawler, they have to explain in the comics that he can teleport to someplace he can't. Like in the movies, they made it a whole big deal that he couldn't, but he does anyway. In the comics, I think there was a point where they explained that his mutation gives him a sense of like a molecular dispersion. So like if he's going to teleport towards a wall, his body will just automatically bounce away from the wall. Yeah. Like stuff like that. They have to explain it though. And that's the problem. So knowing our luck, we would get superpowers that are like really mundane. Like you could fly, but only at 5 miles an hour. Yeah. And you're just like, all right, I'm on my way. Super slow, but or like super hearing, but you can only hear obnoxious sounds. Yeah, right. Yeah, I know, it's just nothing, like just dog whistles all the time. Right. You know, so you have your basic superpowers, and they may not affect the world as much. But you look at any of these superhero movies, the level of destruction. Yep. The level of pure. If I walked out right now, so there's this great, the Fantastic Four movies. Again, another Michael Chiklis reference. Yeah, weird. They're not great movies, but there's a great scene where Doctor Doom and the Thing are fighting, and the Thing lands on these ladies' car. Yeah, and they get out, and she's like, "I'm gonna need to borrow your car," and she's like, "The transmission sticks," and he's like, "Not a problem," and he throws it. Yeah. If I walked out of my job after a 10, 12-hour day, and I'm like, I'm going home. And suddenly I see a superhero or villain take my truck and whip it at somebody. I'd be like, son of a bitch.
Can I get my 60 G's, please?
Seriously, though. So let's start there. Just the sheer destruction level aspect. Yeah. I don't trust people crossing the street. Yeah. I don't trust anybody with superpowers. Yeah. What are your thoughts on basic superhero insurance?
You know what? If everything is covered under insurance, then by all means destroy it. Go for it. Just I don't want to be paying for it, even though technically I will be.
Insurance is the biggest scam ever.
Yeah. So, right? Use this just in case. But if you don't need it, you don't get your money back.
There are different levels of superhero insurance that you can get.
Well, that's like when you insure your house. It's like, do you want flood insurance? Or do you want hurricane insurance? Do you want this? Do you want this
type? God insurance. Yeah. But it's wild to think that if I were to go outside and somebody like a superhero throws my truck or damages my home, now I have to get in touch with my insurance company. Are my rates going to go up? Now, why am I also paying for something that other people could be causing destruction to? Yeah. Right? So then you get to now you're at just the basics of humanity. How is humanity going to deal with that? Now, one of the most realistic depictions of superheroes, I know you're going to hate me for this one, is in She-Hulk, Titania.
Yeah.
She becomes a social media influencer with superpowers. Yep. That was the most realistic part of that entire show.
It was. It 100%
was. Oh God, it's so cringy. Yep. But it's true. Yes. I mean, if we had superpowers, our podcast would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be super
awesomer. Super awesome good time. But what would you do if you woke up with superpowers tomorrow?
Honestly, I would figure out what they were. I kind of like Shazam. Oh yeah. Like that little montage.
You need a montage.
And everything. I'd be like, let's see, do I have strength? Yes, I do. Do I have flight? No. Things like that. I would test it and then just be like, hey, buddy.
Yeah, I don't. You would tell your wife first. Shut up.
Well, she would be there videoing everything.
Not again, Ronnie.
But and just be like, just go. I would go around and be like, guys, if you need me to move something,
your phone's charged. Your phone's charged.
Yeah, right? So what about you?
So first and foremost, it depends on what day of the week it is. If it's a weekend, I'm going to wake up my wife and tell her.
Yeah.
If it's a weekday, I'm still going to work. Damn it.
Yeah, right.
Again, that's another thing you have to worry about, right? So for me, though, I would probably do something similar. First, I would be like, to my wife, of course, I'd be like, hey, I'm glowing, and I don't know why. Because I would have some sort of weird, just like, you remember Sky High?
Yeah.
They have all the misfits who, like, he glows.
Yeah.
That's his power. Like, I would have something silly like that.
Man.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a second. But like for me, it depends on the powers. Let's go. Let's set the bar right.
Okay.
Simple, just basic enhancement, like a Captain America type power set. You know, you're super strength. You're just above. You're like a human times 5.
Yes.
Basically. First and foremost, we would be very careful around the house because things would break.
Yeah.
Things would probably break. One of the best scenes in Amazing Spider-Man 2 is when he gets his powers and he wakes up and he smashes the alarm clock and doesn't even realize it because nothing more realistic in a superhero situation. But I think first and foremost, it's that testing. It's that figuring out what I could do, why I could do it. Yeah. Also, I'm not going to lie, I'd be a little afraid to like try and stab myself in the hand or that's why you need somebody.
Yep.
So we'd have a podcast meeting and we would thoroughly discuss it.
Yeah, I'd help you. Figure out what you can and can't do.
Now, let's say you're the only person in the world with superpowers.
Okay.
Would you go public? Would you create a superhero identity? Or would you keep it to yourself?
I would. That's tough. Mm-hmm. Now, if we're talking about just basic enhancement, like Captain America.
Captain America levels. Not Superman levels. Not, Homelander levels.
I would... See, I don't think I would go public. I think I would... do it in secrecy. Mm-hmm. I would help people, but I would do it in secrecy just so the government can't get to me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm more worried about the government than my enemies targeting my wife, that sort of thing. It's funny how superheroes, like back in the day, they didn't have to, like that wasn't a thing. Yeah. Like it was, I conceal my identity to protect my loved ones. Now it's so I don't get captured and experimented on for the next 40 years.
Exactly.
If I'm lucky.
Yeah.
Right? So
or be used as a weapon.
That's why, like, even though Captain America's awesome and he took on a whole room full of, or like the elevator filled with all the train, like, I'm not a trained soldier. Like, yes, I have a certain level of training and I have a certain level of physical capability regardless. But if the entire U.S. government started to, like, try and come after me, I can't even figure out how to get them to stop tracking my cell phone.
Yeah, right?
Like, I don't have that level of, like, I'm going to evade the government for the next 60 years being a rogue superhero. The only way you could do that is if you are a superhero like your Superman, your Homelander, somebody that if the government tried to come after, they know it wouldn't go well.
Yeah.
Now, I do agree. I would probably try and keep it secret and, do things off to the side.
Yeah.
And
kinda
just
like
try...
the Green Hornet.
The Green Hornets. What? Out of all the characters, you went Green Hornet. And unfortunately, I can't even think of Green Hornet without thinking of that stupid Seth Rogen movie.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it was bad.
It was bad, but I like it, actually.
Oh, is it a guilty pleasure?
It is.
It's a guilty pleasure.
It's a guilty pleasure.
I think for March, we should do a Green Month for St. Patrick's Day and do Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and Green Hornet just for you.
I'm down.
All right, you guys heard it here first. But now let's see. Let's talk about The Boys. So The Boys takes superheroes and markets them.
Yes.
Do you think that is the more realistic depiction of what's going to happen?
1,000%.
1,000%.
1,000%. Because you know what? You gotta make $1.
And that's the problem I have with most comic books. A lot of comic book characters are just inherently wealthy.
Yeah.
Like they have money somewhere. And most of them don't have to worry about like, oh, well, where am I going to live?
Yeah.
Like if I became a superhero with like some sort of public persona, whether it's my own or something I create, and Nike was like, hey, I'm going to give you $10 million if you wear our shoes, I'd be like, well, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Please
Where
get me
do
9.
I sign?
Get me 9.
Yeah.
Like I like to think that I'm above that sort of thing, and like if I was a superhero, I would be a superhero for all the right reasons and stuff like that. But I also know at the end of the day, I have a mortgage to pay. I have a family to provide for. Yeah. If they were offering me all this money just to wear shoes and still keep doing what I'm doing, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But then you have The Boys, where Vought determines who you can save, when you can save, how you can save, when you're supposed to, when you're not supposed to. Like that kind of micromanaging, I would not be about.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. That's why I think what happens in The Boys would happen in real life. Mm-hmm. You know, because people are greedy. Some people are greedy, and they will exploit your goodness to, make a buck or two.
Right. And like I said, if so you remember in season 2 of The Boys where they're trying to find a new member and they have like the deaf ninja, like the Daredevil knockoff, and then literally Homelander just like smacks him in the ears, and not only does he lose his power, but I'm pretty sure he like bleeds out on the floor. Yeah. But like, so if I were a superhero and I'm like, all right, I could do A, B, and C, but I'm not going to join your corporation because I'm doing what I want to do for the right people. And then suddenly somebody like Homelander drops down, and they're like, well, you're going to, or I'm going to just, rip you in half. Well, I guess I'm going to die on my morals then.
Yeah, right?
So I like to think in the inherent goodness of people. However, I don't think it would necessarily happen.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yep.
Especially in a world where superpowers are readily available. Like, imagine we live in a world where all you have to do is get like a shot. And it's like, all right, here's your superpower.
Yeah.
Random superpower based on your personality.
Yeah.
So what do you think your random superpower would be? Like, if they were like, here's a power that's based on something about you. That's a tough one.
Jeez.
I'm getting tough today.
You are.
Wow.
I don't think I have enough time.
I don't think I have an answer for it myself.
We're going to be like silent for the next 10 minutes while
and then I'm just
think about it.
I'm going to edit it out. Don't worry.
Right?
It's fine.
Let's see. Based off of my personality, what superpower would I get?
Wow.
I feel like speed, because I seem to be all over the place.
Yeah. I think I would have some ability to affect people's moods, because I'm always like trying to make people laugh, and I'm always trying like something along those lines. I think that'd be a fun random power. Ideal superpower set, what would it be? And I'll even include mutations, magic, basic superpowers, like anything along those lines.
All of them.
All of them. No, you can only if you pick like a hero, and that's your superpower set.
So if I just pick a hero, honestly, I might go with Martian Manhunter.
That's a solid choice. People forget it. Like, he's a powerhouse.
Yeah, I think I would choose him over anyone. Mm-hmm. Just all his powers and everything. I think that's what I would want.
Solid choice.
Right?
Go toe to toe with Superman.
Yeah.
Got more powers than Superman. Sometimes. Depends on the writer.
Yeah.
For me, I would obviously Superman's the easy answer for me, because I just love Superman. I love the idea of Superman. I love his power set's always fun. But I wouldn't even say no to like a magic set, like a Constantine or a Dr. Fate type set, because that's also something you have to learn and work at and train. And like, I always love stuff like that. And also, there's just nothing more badass than a magic user just like popping and then just doing all the powers and saying the spells and all. I love it.
Yeah.
But who do you think your supervillain would be?
You. No.
I knew it. We started off as friends. Knew it. It was only a matter of time. Huh.
Who would my supervillain be?
That's a tough one.
That is. Myself.
So that's the other thing. Supervillains are always like, they're either the complete opposite of the hero, or they're just the hero in a different color palette.
Yeah.
I feel like we would get just
like Bizarro.
Yeah. Well, not even that. Like, you look at like Iron Man's first villain was Ironmonger.
Yeah.
Like, it was Iron Man versus Iron Man, really.
Yep.
So I feel like I would get it's basically the exact same version of me, just edgier.
Yeah.
With an emo haircut.
I would say that too, probably.
It's tough, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not always like the Batman and Joker, where they're just complete opposites.
Yeah.
Or Superman and Lex Luthor, where it's like the brains versus the bronze type character. I don't know. What would be your super suit color of choice?
Honey?
Yeah, I knew you were going to do it.
I would say like a blue. I don't know what exactly it would look like. Honestly, I would like it to be, I mean, I'm not in the best shape, but like I would like it to look kind of like a Superman or whatever, where it's like that skin tight, like spandexy kind of thing. No capes.
No capes?
No capes.
No capes.
No capes. But yeah, something like a blue with maybe like some like gold accents on it.
Yeah, that's pretty pimp.
Right?
I like it. For me, it would depend on what my powers are. Like, if I could fly, I'm sorry, I'm getting a cape. Yeah. Okay, you fly, you get a cape. I'm just gonna say it.
Are you sure?
I think you should.
Do the Green Lanterns fly?
Yes.
They don't wear capes.
Yes, I do. Did you know that? Didn't you know that? God, just like you don't even read comics. For me,
Namor
I just
flew.
What was that?
Namor
flew. He had a cape. You just didn't see it.
Oh.
But anyway, for me, like if I could fly, I want a cape. I'm sorry. If I could do magic, I want a cloak. Yeah. If I'm just gonna be punching people in the face, something not capier. Even though Batman wears a cape.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Nightwing kind of guy anyway.
Yeah.
For me, color wise though, I think like a white and blue kind of combo always looks good. Even like a light blue, dark blue accent mixing. But again, it depends. Like if I have like fire powers, I'm gonna wear probably red because it kind of fire.
Red like fire.
Red like fire. And again, it really depends on the power set and where you're at. And I always think, if I'm gonna be a superhero, bright colors, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully, if I get superpowers, I'm in better shape. Like it's
like,
part of it.
That's the thing too. It's like, do I stay how I look or do I get like chiseled out a little bit?
There's nothing I like more, and it's so weird seeing the transformation from like you have your Captain America, or even like in the Power Rangers movie, the live the reboot, which I still really enjoy, and I will defend with my last breath. Like they wake up and he's like all shredded. And I'm like, see, why can't I just wake up? That would be a fine superpower. Just a 6-pack. Wake up, 6-pack.
Like if I was say bulletproof, and I was like jacked or whatever, I'd walk around with just pants on.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Just like spandex pants or whatever. Almost like a Aquaman in a way. Just something like that.
You look like Namor. But I don't know. Like I as much as it would be so much fun to have superpowers, they would really just suck.
Yeah. I think like the only ones I'd be like psyched about would be something like Captain America, where it's just enhanced. Your strength's enhanced, your speed, something like that. Cool.
What would be a fun superpower with a negative drawback?
Let's see.
Super strength, but you still have bad cardio. So you get tired halfway through.
I would say teleportation. However, no, never mind.
Well, remember Huey's? He teleports, but he's got no clothes on when he lands.
Clothes doesn't go.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that, but that's why I was like, nah, no, that won't work. Invisibility.
Okay.
However,
you got this.
No.
Well, it was the movie Paul where he could only be invisible for as long as he held his breath.
Yeah.
Yep.
So something like that, where it's like you can be invisible, but it only lasts like 10 seconds.
Right. Or you can hold your breath underwater, but you still get crushed by the pressure. I'm going to go explore the sea. Oh my God, I'm dying. I think, that's even fun too. Like,
or you're bulletproof, but you're only bulletproof in your head.
Only one spot. It's the opposite Achilles heel.
Yeah.
Yep. Or bulletproof, but every time you get hit, the sound of air hissing happens. Aww. You could have a lot of fun.
You have super strength, but it's from steroids. No.
Super strength. You have super hearing, but you have no taste.
Yeah.
Oh, nope. Yeah. No.
Don't
give me.
Yeah.
Super eating, is that a thing? Well, no, there's Matter Eater Lad and stuff like that. So there are characters like that's what they do. But this was a fun little discussion. Again, a shorter episode just for the sake of our schedules, because I literally have to go to work. Ronnie just got done with work, and now I have to go to work.
Yeah.
So we do have Fan Feedback Friday, though. Don't forget, if you guys are looking to participate in Fan Feedback Friday, you can always go to Facebook, Multiverse Fancast. You'll see it every Friday between around 8 a.m. and
8 p.m.
and other times. It's a nice 12-hour window I give it. So this week it was, how do you think some of your favorite superheroes spend the holidays?
Yeah.
Something nice, something simple. Superman on the Kent farm, Deadpool with chimichangas and probably lube. Batman still romping bad guys, yes, because crime doesn't take a vacation.
Yeah.
But that was a fun one. I liked it. I think that's pretty much. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's pretty much it.
So
you did a good job.
Thanks, man. If you guys are looking to participate a little bit more or find more of our content, go to themisfitfaction.com. You'll find links to all of our other shows and our materials and our store. You can also find us on social media. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook. Just type in Multiverse Fancast or the Misfit Faction. Odds are you'll find some of our stuff. We want to thank you guys for joining us today. Again, I know it's a shorter episode, but it was the best that we could do. And we still love you guys very much.
Amen.
Amen. So, as always, I'm Paul.
I'm Ronnie.
And we'll be back in a flash.
See ya.